Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my garden. So today I definitely have my work cut out for me. This little corner in my yard is getting a garden makeover today. I know the zinnias are still looking a little pretty, but trust me, it's a hot mess back here. The zinnias are going to seed. They have powdery mildew. My poor sweet pea shrubs, they've been in a clay pot all summer and they are dying. I've tried to keep them watered every day, but look at them. They're a hot mess. And my little succulents, my Provolone Nunbergs, I need to trim those back and repot them. I never planted this sunflower. This is a volunteer, but it's done. It's just a hot mess back here. And the reason why I need to do this whole area over is because I have a beautiful sedum autumn joy that's starting to bud out, and I want to give that center stage. So this little area is getting a whole garden makeover today. I'm turning this hot mess into a neat and tidy, cute little corner. Oh my goodness, I'm just busting my dog Rosie eating my tomatoes. Look at her over there. I don't have the heart to stop her. I think it's actually very cute. What are you doing, Rosie? Rosie, are you eating tomatoes? Do you like those tomatoes? So this little corner is about to get a makeover. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove all the zinnias. I'm sad to see them go, but at the same time, I was able to harvest a ton of seeds, so that made me happy. Now the volunteer sunflower is coming down. I'm going to chop it into 100 pieces and put it in the compost pile. Next, I'll remove the little wire fence. So my method of composting is called chop and drop, which means whenever I prune a plant or remove a plant from the garden, I chop it into 100 little pieces and either put it in my chicken coop or I just drop it in my garden somewhere so it can decompose naturally. I feel that if a plant took nutrients from the soil in order to grow, why not give those nutrients back to the soil when the plant has died or is done? Now it's time to cut back the sweet pea shrubs to see if they're even worth saving. Truth is, I never really liked these shrubs from the beginning, so we'll see what happens. And they will also get chopped up and added to the compost. Now it's time for the Mexican sunflower to come down as well. But just like the zinnias, I was able to harvest a ton of seeds, so I'm totally fine with it. And I gotta give Rosie a little attention too. Even though she did eat my tomatoes, I still love her. Have you noticed that I keep filling up this bucket, yet it never gets full? That's the beauty of composting and why I chop up debris in hundreds of little pieces. Do you see the white door leaning against the fence? Well, right below that there's a blue salvia plant, and I have decided that the blue salvia plant would look much better in front of the sedum autumn joy. That's why I'm digging this hole. The blue salvia is about to get transplanted. And speaking of salvias, I have 2 more salvia plants in my yard that are going to get transplanted to this area. This first one has been in a pot for about a year now. It's done really well, but I figure it's time I let her out so she can spread her roots and thrive. I don't remember the variety of this one. I just know it's pink and very pretty. So you see, gardening doesn't always have to be expensive. Sometimes you just have to get creative and work with what you have. So far, I haven't spent any money on this project, and I don't plan to. And the hole I'm digging now is where the sister salvia is going to go. When I say sister salvia, what I mean is this plant was actually part of the first one that I just transplanted. When I bought it at the nursery, it was in one pot. Then when I brought it home, I separated the plant and made two. It just wasn't getting enough sun underneath that tree. So I know it'll do much better here in this location. And I know it looks a little ragged because Rosie trampled on it a lot, but once it grows back, I know it will be beautiful again. So this is what I have so far. Taking center stage is the beautiful Sedum Autumn Joy, which will be blooming in the fall. Then on each side of that I have a Society Garlic on the left and another Society Garlic on the right. Then on the outside we have a pink salvia on the left and the sister pink salvia on the right. Then in front of the Sedum Autumn Joy there's a little blue salvia. So far so good. Once I get this little wire fence back up, I can think about the next step, which will be the funnest part of all, planting flowers. And when I said I was gonna garden on a budget, I meant it. I'll be doing that for free as well. Hooray! Now it's time for the fun part. Now that I got all the hard work out of the way, now it's time I get to plant flowers and put my own personal little creative touches onto this garden. And if you notice, I did remove those sweet pea bushes after all because I have a much better plan and I'm going to do it all for free. Yes, you heard me right. I'm not going to spend a penny. What I'm going to do, here's my plan. I'm going to take flowers and plants from other areas in my yard that either need transplanting or they're not doing well, and I'm going to use them here. So I'm going to recycle my garden flowers. That way I don't have to spend a dime. I don't have to go to the nursery. I can do it all today without spending money or going anywhere. So I'm going to do it now. So I have a bunch of these little marigolds that are outgrowing their little pots. Rather than let them die or stay small because they're not going to thrive, I'll transplant them into the new garden. And here's another example. See these beautiful lamb's ear? They're so easy to separate and propagate, so I'll be using a few of these in my garden too. Check out all this vinca. You guessed it, I'll be using these as well. Funny thing is, I never planted any of these. I planted the white petunias, but then the vinca grew from seed and started taking over. So if I remove a few plants, it certainly isn't going to hurt anything. Hey, if we can recycle bottles and newspapers, why not plants? Now, I know the lamb's ear is looking a little sad right now. It's just going through transplant shock, and that's completely normal. In a few days, it'll look all perky again. I know with time the salvias will fill out and be beautiful, and all the flowers I planted will acclimate to their new location as well. The fact that I was able to turn this hot mess into a cute garden without spending any money, well, that's a win-win in my books. I hope what I did today in my garden inspired you to be resourceful in your garden too. Thanks for watching, and have a beautiful day.